Alex Fortin.
What's going on? How are you?
I'm good, man. All day breakfast is just it's the best time of the week. So
It's it's happening right now.
that's where we
Whatever
are.
your breakfast is, we're here for it.
We're here for it. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm sure our listeners sick and tired of this part of the intro, but that doesn't matter because they'll learn to love it.
Yeah, it'll happen eventually.
Alex, you were teasing a tour recently on the podcast, and I
I
understand
was.
there are some developments.
Yes, we have detail. Well, yeah, we have details now, and I think with phase two being announced and phase three coming up quick, I think we can kind of move forward. So yeah, we have a little bit of
Yes.
info. I am going to be working with old Uncle Hack of the Danger Cats.
Woo!
So yeah, I'm pretty excited
Dude.
about it. He recently started doing stand-up comedy, kind of in the quarantine. And so him and I were chatting and we went out and we played puck one day and we were just hanging out and we were chatting
Nice.
about it. And yeah, we figured we'd get a tour going and it would be a combo, as you said, a combo made in fucking rights, bud. Let's
Not in
go.
heaven, in fucking rights, but
Yeah.
yeah, man. When you know what
So
he reached out to me like last year sometime, and he was kind of like, I want to check out some comedy shows. Like, what should I do? So I met him at the Grindstone one night for the open mic, and then I went on his podcast and had just like such a good time. Like, it was
yeah,
around the
dude,
time
his
that
podcast is so funny
it was
too.
around the time that Wet Ass Pussy song came out, and there was
Oh
like
yeah.
all the outcry of like that Ben Shapiro guy being like, that's actually like,
My wife's pussy never gets
yeah,
that wet.
yeah. And I
Basically.
still I still laugh about the exchange we had because I was like, buddy, you know what a wet ass pussy is? You in the rain. just like
Yeah, nice.
just that guy standing in the rain. But yeah, his
That's funny.
podcast is
Ben
so
Shapiro's a
good.
pussy.
And so shout out to his podcast, the Uncle Hack podcast, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. The Uncle Hack podcast. And they've been he's been like pretty cool with the Edmonton comedy scene. I know young
absolutely.
Bradley has been in a couple sketches and like him and
Yeah.
Pete Sender have been hanging out and doing stuff and he's been around doing open mics. And he's funny when he's up there. And I was like, yo, like if I get a tour going, someone's got to come with me on the road. So
He's
like
done roast battle stuff as well.
yeah, exactly. And like, so I think it's gonna be a good time. Me and him are gonna get into her for sure. There's gonna
You
be
got
some
some
beers and
dates or
some
what?
whiskeys.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have official dates. So the thing is right now, COVID's so fucked that we don't know what's going on. So
True that.
basically what we've decided is the best thing we can do is plan for like a time frame after opening. So we got in contact with Good Times down in Lethbridge. Big shout out Good Times. I love the comedy club. I've been
Yeah.
down there twice. Oh, so fun.
I opened for Nick Burden there. Shout out to Birdie.
Yeah, dude, so fun. Yeah, my boy Nick Burton, who I'm going to be seeing when I move out to Ottawa. What's up? Shout out.
That's
Lots of shout
right.
outs off the top here. We're going to be just, this is going to
This
be,
is
this
this is the
is
shout out
us trying to
episode.
get Instagram followers.
Oh, big shout out to Nick Burden. Me and Nick went down to Lethbridge and almost died on the way home because we got caught in a blizzard on the way back. I was supposed to go on
No
tour
way.
with him last May, and then it all got canceled. And I was like, no,
Yeah. Yeah, old COVID. Yeah, man,
old
Lethbridge is
Kobe.
good times. Well, literally good times. That's so fun.
Yeah,
Good times down in Lethbridge. I ended up headlining there one night because their headliner canceled or didn't. I don't know what happened. He got like double booked, and so he was supposed to be there, and he was like on the East Coast, and they were like, "We need someone." So they contacted a headliner who was busy, who like hooked him up with my number. So I ended up
yeah,
going to fill in, and like we just had a good time that weekend. And I've been like in
good
good with them since.
time.
Yeah, so like we've been like boys and I've been talking to the owner and stuff and like
That's
he's a good
great, man.
dude.
Yeah,
And so I figured, like it's a local business, it's a local comedian, it's a local podcaster, like it's all Alberta stuff. This is good for everybody. Let's make it work and get everyone who wants to be entertained out and entertained and
yeah,
everybody who wants to entertain out and entertaining. So like we're giving money to a venue, hopefully. We're giving money to a podcaster, we're giving money to a comedian, all from
yeah.
Alberta, all like just for because we want to get people out. So we're calling it the Eaton Mask Tour, but we're spelling
Nice.
mask with two S's, so it's like ass.
Nice. Nice. Man, when me and Nick were in Lethbridge, they were like, oh, like it started to snow, right? And they're like, oh, it might be a light night tonight because half the town lives like at the bottom of the hill or something. And when it snows, none of them can get up the hill.
Man, I went. This is my favorite story about good times. It's much darker than yours. I
Yeah, we
went
actually had
to.
we had a good time, except we were the only people on the floor of the sort of under construction hotel we were staying in. So we sort of felt like we were
Yeah,
in a horror flick. And it was
yeah,
a different name than what they gave us. It was a whole
yeah.
thing. It was
Yeah, it
crazy.
was really weird. And then in the elevator, inside the elevator, there's a big note saying like, "This is not the name of the hotel," and it's like the
Yeah,
one you were given.
yes. No, we drove all around town being like, where is this place? And they gave us the directions. Like, it's just like couple lefts, couple. Oh man, that's so funny. Yeah. And they're like, it is not this hotel. It is this hotel.
But yeah, but it's like it turns out that was just like for legal reasons and not because like they wanted to fuck with you.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so funny, man. That's part of staying. That's part of doing comedy there, I guess.
Yeah, well, that's so funny. Well, it was kind of a weird time because they like Good Times had just been built, and then the hotel that they had to deal with was switching ownership. But it was like, well, the
Ah,
rooms were still functional, but they were changing, so they just kind of kept their deal going. So it was just a weird like couple months, but it was really funny.
yeah. We were driving around like we must be smoking something. Like, what?
Yeah,
How are we not under it? This place isn't huge. How are we not finding this? Whatever it was it like a Holiday Inn or something? And but it was actually
yeah.
something else or whatever it was. It was like, am I going crazy?
But it was hilarious, yeah, that it like had signs like specifying that it wasn't the place. So you're like,
Yeah.
okay, so they must get this all the time. So I'm probably in the wrong spot and should go around again.
Yeah.
It's like, no,
Yeah.
no, they just were being like, no, it keeps being called that, but it's not called that
No.
anymore.
I hope Birdie listens to this when we tag him incessantly in it because that was a fun trip and we had a good time.
Yeah, man, we'll tag everyone. We'll tag the cats and we'll tag good
Let's
times.
tag everybody.
But
So
yeah,
sometime like what, next month or what?
so basically, whenever it looks like if you go onto the Alberta website right now and you follow their COVID roadmap, section or step 3 is when all of our stuff should open. And step 3
Okay.
is 3 weeks after step 2 if we hit goal A, B, and C. And right now,
Mhm.
it looks like we're on pace to hit all those goals, and 3 weeks after the last step will be March 22nd. So that's our hope
Right.
for the announcement for we're opening is March 22nd. So then the club's probably going to take a week or two to open, like get everything ready and set up. And
Mm-hmm.
then basically the third week that they're open, we're going to be there. And that's kind of going to be the beginning of our tour. And we're going to kind of go through Alberta and hit some small venues and just get like, we want to hit like local bars and stuff. Like we really want it not to be like, hey, we're doing a Boston Pizza. Like we want it to be
Well,
like
yeah.
a stage or whatever, or even just like, we don't want to be doing, any kind of commercial space. Like we just want it to be local stuff. Like Good Times is sick. And so he's been
Yeah.
in cahoots with some local stuff down in southern Alberta, anyways, and hacks from down there. So we've got a couple spots in mind, and
Tabor,
we've got
isn't
everything
he?
going through. Yeah, 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 yeah. From the corn, the town of Corn.
Best hockey player ever in Tabor, I understand.
Yeah, best fighter out of Tabor too.
Oh, best everything, man.
Best podcaster, fighter, and hockey player. Suck it, Tabor.
Yeah. Yeah. Corn is number 2 now.
We're coming home to brag, baby.
Yeah. It's Uncle Hack, Tabor Corn on the list of things to do
we're
about Tabor.
we're spray painting that on the welcome to Tabor sign.
Get him
All
banned
right.
from Tabor.
Thank God our podcast doesn't have that kind of pull.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, so I don't know. We're gonna be ripping down around there, and Good Times is the official starting point, and that's gonna be 3 weeks after their opening date. So we're in cahoots for the rest of the dates and everything. but we're gonna try and wait for the announcement before we really get anything solid and out to the public.
Nice, man. And then I think once everything gets, because I want to do one more shout out. I think once everything gets back and like once we're deep into the everything being normal, you and I have to go do some shows out in Jasper at Jasper Brewing. Because I was chatting with them when I was out there. I was
Yeah.
having a beer there when I went skiing, and oh no, that's gonna set you off. And and I was like, yeah, comedy, blah, blah, blah. They're like, you totally got to come do shows here. So I'm just going to throw that out there. We're going to tag them. Also, Campio is their sister restaurant. They should also do comedy with us.
Nice. I have I have a story from Campio.
Uh-oh.
We're not gonna tell it.
Yeah. that's probably the best. But yeah, do we need to go do shows in all these dope small places around Alberta that are doing cool things and aren't Boston pizzas.
Yeah. Well, I mean, nothing wrong with Boston Pizza either. I mean, but
Well, yeah, but there's one everywhere.
I know. I just feel bad
I know
because there
there
is a
are.
comedy show in a Boston Pizza, so I feel bad that I
Well, that
used that as the example. I should have said like a Subway or something.
yeah, but like a comedy show on a Boston pizza would be weird.
No, it's actually sick. That's the problem. Is like I feel bad because it's sick because it's my friends that run it, and it actually is a really good show, and it's in a Boston Pizza. But like, I was just trying to use like we're not trying to be in chains. You know what I mean? We're not trying to be in chain restaurants. I'm
We're
not
not
trying to
trying to be
take
in
shots
chain.
at Belford's show. Sorry, Belford. Shout out to Belford and Funny Man.
Oh man.
More
Oh,
shout
that's
outs.
funny. More shout outs. Yeah, let me write that one down too. I'm trying to write down all the shout outs because Lord knows I won't be listening to this later to recollect them.
That's so funny.
Thanks to all our
That
listeners
is
for listening.
that is a fun show. Actually, it's really weird to do a show in a Boston Pizza that is fun.
Yeah,
It's
you know,
I don't.
have you ever been to the White Ave one? It's got like a there's like the underneath in the
Oh
basement
yeah,
of the restaurant. Yeah, I did music there
I,
once and was just like, what is this place?
that's so funny. Yeah, I used to host a trivia night there, and
Oh,
we used to do the trivia night in the bar. But then when they would play Oilers games, the Oilers fans would get mad the trivia was on, so
mm.
they like banished us to the downstairs.
Here's how I picture you as a trivia host. Will you sleep with me? Yes or no? Yes?
Yes.
No?
Oh man.
Yeah, I mean,
Alicia Schneider.
BPs, I guess, has a bad rap, but like, I just never thought really of them as because I've never seen anybody perform at a BPs.
Yeah. Well, we did. It's so funny because I was telling again. I don't want to like talk bad about the show because it's awesome. So Funny Man books a bunch of shows out in like Ontario and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and they recently started moving out west. And one of the shows they run is out of a Boston Pizza in Dawson Creek.
Hmm.
But the dude who runs it like loves comedy, so he like sells tickets and he makes sure that there is like no one in the BP's lounge who isn't there to watch the comedy show
Oh,
specifically.
wow.
And he like bought a spotlight and like a sound system, and they have like a little stage that they bring out, and they like move all the chairs around so that everyone's facing this
Yeah,
like
that's
stage.
wicked. I mean, I could see how you could make it look like a comedy. It's just I've never thought of a beep like
Yeah,
I can't imagine throwing a BP show in Edmonton.
yeah, but BP's is like one of the busy bars in
But
Dawson
like
Creek because they're like,
yeah,
oh, of course it is.
let's be honest. There's probably some bumping ones in Edmonton that we should throw a comedy show at.
Yeah. Dude, it's so funny. I've played like O2s and Canadian brew houses. Like I've played the
Man.
Jasper Avs like old sister Banff Ave Brewing Co. and Wood Buffalo Brewing Co., who were both owned by a comedian for a while.
Nice. The one thing I was laughing to myself there about performing at a BP's because one of the funny stories that I have from like working in a job where you went through a lot of small towns is that the guys would always take you to the local strip clubs in like all these
Oh
small
yeah.
towns. Like no matter where you went, it was always like, oh, we gotta go here. And they always had these crazy names or whatever. But there was one that we were at where we were sitting there watching, and I was like, they come up on stage, like the performers come up on stage with like a little bag full of their things and their posters and like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they come up with a bag, right? And they put it down on the stage and they do the thing. we're watching this girl dance, and I'm like, is that a BP's to go bag? She was on stage with a BP's to go bag full of posters and I imagine leftovers. But I just remember thinking, like,
Like,
no, come
was it like
on.
was it like one of those fabric ones that you like keep to get your groceries in, or was it like a
No, the
plastic bag?
plastic, yeah, the plastic, like I just left my
Oh.
shift and now I'm at my other job or whatever. But we were dying of like laughing so hard. It's like, is that a BP's to go bag? Like, you want a lap dance?
Yeah.
Like, I'll have a bite of the chicken carbonara, please. I'm just like, oh,
Like, is that a Boston Brood in there? That smells delicious.
yes, it smells amazing.
That's so funny. Yeah, her like stripper clothes. She's like dancing on you. You're like, was that cactus cuts? What is
Yeah,
that?
like, damn, you smell like Bandera pizza bread. I'm getting deep into the menu on this one, son.
That's so funny. Yeah, yo, I could list off BP's menu. What is that? A Great White North? How many references you want, baby?
Oh, damn.
That's so
Yeah,
funny.
so funny.
Bro,
But yeah, I'll never forget the BP's bag.
Man, I ended up like not hosting their trivia night because I was like having so much fun doing it. And I was like, okay, it's like annoying that it doesn't pay enough to like be worth it at all. So
Right.
can I get like 50 more
Yeah.
dollars? And they were like, no way. I was like, I just want 50 more bucks. Like, not a fucking chance.
Like,
I was
can I
like,
get
bro,
a
there's
free
like
fish bowl?
like it
Damn.
was so funny. I was like, all right, bye.
Man. Are you a big basketball guy, Alex?
No, I can't figure out how to make the baskets, and so I'm jealous of everyone who's good at it.
So you don't even watch. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I also
I'm
think
like a
it's
casual. I'm a casual fan. But what were you gonna say?
I think it's really exciting to watch the last 2 minutes of a basketball game,
It
but for
can
the
be.
most of the rest
Better
of
than
it, I
football.
don't really get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel that way with most sports. It's like soccer, I feel the same way. It's like unless I'm into the sport,
Unless you
I just
understand
really
what's
need to
going
watch
on,
the
yeah.
last 5 minutes.
But okay, this is the funniest thing I've ever heard though. So one of the guys on like TNT or like one of the like the NBA broadcast, the main like NBA broadcast crew, it's like Shaq, sometimes it's Charles Barkley, it's these other guys, and there's this guy Ernie Johnson, this white dude who's just part of, he's like the kind of anchor of the group, and he's sort of, you know, whatever. And there's a clip circulating on the internet today. It's the absolute best thing I've ever seen. So they're talking about like, you know, like, oh, do you like smash? So, you know, the phrase like, oh, like I smashed a bunch of beers, right? So you like the phrase like I smashed something means like, you know, you drank so much or you, so we obviously come in at the part of that conversation and he's just like, I'm not sure if there's anything I smash. He's like, you know what I smash? Tricks. He meant the cereal, but Shaquille O'Neal's face on the side. He's like, you know what I smash? Tricks. And he says it with such a calm confidence. And like, and he's talking about, he's like, buddy, I ate a whole box in one night, you know, like,
Yeah,
and like,
because
it's
in his
so,
is
it's
in
so
his
innocent.
head that sentence in his
But
head
that-
that sentence is like, I eat a box of Trix cereal very
Yeah.
quickly. But
Meanwhile, if he had,
Shaq's head, that's
if
it's
he had
like,
like
yo,
a
I'd be smashing
velour
Trix.
suit and like a cap with a feather in it, and he was like, you know what I smash? Tricks. You'd be like, yeah, whoop that trick. Whoop, whoop, whoop that. But it's the funniest thing. Shaquille O'Neal's face, though, like he's just barely holding it together. And I wish that I could have heard the off-camera conversation of just like, dude, let me tell you what you just said. Because it's like, oh my God, if you can find the clip, it's so funny. Because he's just like, actually, you know what I smash? Tricks. I'm like, bless you, sir. It's like, I want to clip that and make it into like the hook for a rap song. You know what? Tricks.
That's so funny. I love those like hilarious. I don't know. The internet has taken so many like things and found like this other part of them that's so funny that went like unnoticed for so long.
Yeah.
Like these hilarious sportscaster moments. Man, I saw one the other day where Deion Sanders was like talking with again some like white guy, and there's like these two black dudes like down on the field, and the white guy's like, "Have we ever seen a brother cover a brother?" And then Deion Sanders like, "What you mean, like black people?" And then,
Oh my God, that's so funny. What you
it's
mean,
so
like,
funny. The dude was just like, "No, oh no," and the guy was like, "No, Dion, no." Like,
oh man, that's so good.
it was so funny. He's like, "Have we ever seen a brother cover a brother?" And then Dion's like, "You mean like black people?"
Oh, dude, that's perfect. That's perfect. Of course, the other big basketball controversy, you might have heard of this one. It's driven the right wing media absolutely berserk. Yeah, it's gonna get more bizarre. Your face is Space Jam 2 is coming out.
Oh yes.
Lola Bunny isn't like a super hypersexualized, like big boobs, like just sex, like cartoon sex symbol anymore. And conservative media is flipping out about it. They're saying she's being canceled and all this stuff because they have they're admitting that they were into it. And now they're like, but she just looks normal now. She's not a rabbit with big tits anymore. And you're upset about that? Come on,
Yeah.
man. They're talking
That's
about it in
weird.
politics. They're talking about it in the news. They're writing articles about it. And it's like, bro, it's
Yeah, I feel like the last
funny.
I went to the mountains for my birthday,
Yeah.
and like I didn't really pay attention to anything. And then when I came back, everyone was talking about Lola Bunny's titties and like
And Pepe Le
Meghan
Pew.
Markle talking to Oprah.
Yeah. But dude, Pepe Le Pew, I guess there was a scene where LeBron James was teaching Pepe Le Pew about consent, but it didn't make the final cut of the film. And everyone's like, they're canceling Pepe Le Pew. And it's like, why do grown-ups give a shit? And like, it reminds me of my favorite Dave Chappelle bit where he's talking about watching old cartoons that you used to watch as a kid, as an adult. And he's got a bit on Pep, like this guy's a fucking rapist. Take it easy, Pepe.
Yeah. From like the late 90s.
2000. Yeah. Like the year 2000.
Yeah.
And in 2021, people are like, this is a troublesome character. It's like, buddy, the man, Dave Chappelle, has said that 21 years ago.
Yeah. Do you know what's like fun is that all these people that are like canceling now, it's like it's too late. The cancel thing is like no longer, it doesn't work because you guys
not a
have
thing.
watered it down.
Yeah, exactly. When you say everything is cancel culture, it makes everything cancel, like it makes it nothing at the same time.
Yeah, it's like the people have tried to cancel so much stuff now. Like people are trying so hard to cancel such stupid stuff. To like when someone's like, "You're canceled," it's like you're basically just being like, "I don't like you." Like it doesn't matter.
And again, when everyone is crying, not everyone's crying wolf, but a lot of people are crying wolf at different point, like with the whole cancel culture thing. Sometimes it's relevant, sometimes it's valid, sometimes it's not, but like it's like nonstop. But when everyone's doing it, it waters down what it means to actually cancel a valid person who should be canceled.
Yeah, it's like in the last week, like Pepe Le Pew, Lola Bunny, and Eminem got canceled allegedly. Like,
Oh
get
man,
the
that was
fuck
so
out of
funny.
here.
So
Like,
funny. They're like, hey, these Eminem lyrics are troublesome, and everyone who knows Eminem from the beginning is like, those are the least troublesome lyrics that Eminem's written. He's got some violent domestic, like he's got some horrific lyrics from his early days. You like lazy pieces of shit didn't even look far back enough to get something to be actually upset about.
yeah, it was like
reality.
it was the I saw one they were mad about that like Rihanna song.
Yeah.
Love the Way You Lie. I was like, this is like a love song.
So you only went that far back to try and find something on Eminem. If you started at the beginning, your job would be over. Like it's easy.
Yeah, like
his early stuff was very controversial. If that's the example of domestic violence they want to use, His whole like
The
first two albums were about his ex.
the first track that he was ever on was Guilty Conscience, where he advocates raping a 15-year-old girl
Yeah. And they didn't even
as
go
like
far back
as a
enough.
man's like devil on his shoulder.
Yeah.
It's like
And
if you
that
just
was
went to
a
his
and that
first
was a
song
main
ever, if you're like, how did Eminem get famous? You would realize that it was by advocating for rape and murder for like 4 minutes.
and that wasn't even like behind, you know, underground, but that was a mainstream song that had massive success.
Yeah, that was the first one. That was like his like
He was a
introduction to the
super
mainstream.
celebrated artist, even though at the same time people were like, yo, he's got some questionable ass shit in his lyrics sometimes.
Yeah.
But it was
Well,
just,
that was the whole point. It
yeah,
was supposed to be.
yeah.
He was
It
the
was,
that was why he was different, because he was the only one saying it.
yeah, you were kind of like, okay, this is his like art form or whatever. And he like his art is going into these dark places where, you know, you're getting into these subjects that no one else is
Yeah.
talking about, like you
It
say.
would be like canceling Edgar Allan Poe, being like, he's writing about murder.
Yeah, that
You're
means
like,
he's
yeah, he's a
advocating
poet,
murder.
you idiot.
Yeah, like he's advocating for murder in rhyme. Like that's not scary. Like,
He's advocating for murder in ABABC
yeah,
format,
pray to God you're not scared by that. Come on, man.
in iambic pentameter.
Yeah. Damn.
That's too funny. Yeah, how are you trying to cancel this dude? Shut the fuck up.
Well,
That's
again,
what
like I would have more respect if they went deep into his catalog and were like, here are like 18 problematic songs. And you'd be like, okay, well, they start to have a point. But if they're like, here's this song from 2018 that is problematic, you're like, you're not even trying, so fuck you.
Yeah. I don't know. It's also funny that people think that this is like, I was talking to someone, they're like, can you believe people are trying to cancel Eminem? I'm like, yes, of course I can believe people are trying to cancel Eminem. They've been trying to cancel Eminem since the first day he's ever existed. Bro, he
From the
literally
very
has a
beginning.
song. He has a song where he says the lyrics from an old song that the FCC would not let him put in the album. So there is not a produced album with the words not bleeped out, because he's advocating for the murder of children like right after Columbine.
Yeah, and like it's like the whole shock jock thing. It's the same idea of like this is the kind of the art of the shock jock, or the shock kind of the horrorcore MC, is to say things that are like, whoa, then they make you say, oh my God, I can't believe he said that. But like you can't like again, it's just so lazy to go, oh, this recent song is problematic, let's cancel him, when this guy has a whole catalog of like very dark music.
But he fucked the lazy. And I don't care how lazy it is. It's a stupid concept to be. Who cares what? Like it's so lame.
But on top of it, it's lazy.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
Like,
even to add to it.
If you're gonna like go through all of this to try and cancel somebody and ruin their career, put some fucking effort into it, man. Don't half-ass it like an idiot.
I just don't understand like any of it. They've just been trying so hard for so long on like the wrong people. It's so stupid. Like, stop trying to cancel Eminem and start trying to cancel all the people who fucked kids with Jeffrey Epstein. Like,
yeah.
You fucking dumbasses. Like, I remember when people were getting mad at Anthony Jeselnik after the Boston Marathon bombing, tweeted like, on days like today, some lines shouldn't be crossed, specifically the finish line. And like,
he's got a whole bit on like the reaction to those types of tweets.
Yeah, and it's like people got so mad at him, and it's like, be mad at the guys who set off the bombs, like, not the guy who tweeted about it.
Yeah, exactly. And I like the
misguided anger.
I like the thought process of those types of comics, because you really have to, like, you know, you have to have some skill to pull it off, like his style of comedy, and then to sort of be able to pull off those types of, like, you know, like he says, when something bad happens, he knows because he gets like 50 texts that say, don't do it. And then he has to figure out what bad thing happened and then make a joke about it.
That's so funny. Yeah,
Man.
I've always said that though, like guys like that like guys like Eminem can't get canceled. Like when all of this stuff was going on with like people getting in trouble, and like I remember comedians who were like close to me, like worried about like getting in trouble for like jokes they made and stuff. And I'm like, bro, as long as you just are that guy, like as long as you're not doing
Yeah,
stuff that crosses your own personal lines, then you're fine. Like Bill Cosby was fucked up, and like he was a maniac. Like that's why he got fucking canceled. Like no
exactly.
one actually canceled Eminem. No one canceled Daniel Tosh for the rape jokes that he made. Like no
Yeah.
one canceled
People
any of
talk
these
about this
people.
as if there's all these consequences, but like it's so easy to say this guy was canceled, this guy was canceled, but it's like, what does it mean? They're all still doing they're still doing their
Yeah,
thing.
dude. When Elon Musk smoked weed on Rogan, people were like, "Oh my God, Tesla's canceled," and then it's like,
Canceled.
no, it immediately came back up. Their
Yeah.
fucking
Look at
little
me now,
stock
mom.
ticker went bloop bloop, and
Yeah.
then since has gone. Bleep.
You're exactly right though. Like you said earlier, it's said so often that it means nothing almost.
Yeah, it's a
Someone says,
worthless.
"Oh,
Like who
Alex has been
cares?
canceled." Well, it's like, okay, like how?
Yeah, that was like
Like, is
I
he in
remember someone
jail?
banned
The
me
only
from a
way you can
comedy
cancel
room.
someone is if you fucking get them locked up.
Yeah, like for real. And even then, they're not canceled. Like Takashi 69 not canceled. Bobby
That's true.
Shmurda not canceled.
Yeah, you can't even
OJ not
cancel.
canceled.
You
R.
can't even
Kelly
cancel
not
the
canceled.
incarcerated.
Yeah, the dead Michael Jackson not canceled. Kid rapist.
Michael Jackson not canceled.
He's not.
Yeah,
You
death doesn't
can't
uncancel you.
tell me you're not like the
Yeah.
thriller.
Oh man, I mean they're good songs, but God, you know that, okay? Isn't that funny about music where you're like, oh, these are good songs, but like there's something problematic about it. Like I
Yeah,
love like dance hall reggae. I listen to it nonstop all day long, and most songs are either
that's
about,
amazing.
oh, buddy, it's because when I was a kid, in like junior high, late elementary, I watched a ton of Much Music. Much Music caters to a very like a Caribbean audience in Toronto. So on Much Music, when I was a kid, there was like early Sean Paul and like Mr. Vegas and all of it. And so I was seeing all this
Bro,
as a kid and being like, yo, this
Masari?
is
Do you
amazing.
remember Masari?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, man. But oh fuck, what was I even going? Where was I going with that?
You're talking about how you
Oh, the
listen to reggae all
troublesome
day and the
music.
music's
So the thing about that type of music is it's all about either about smoking weed, killing informers, drugs, or
killing
sex.
informers.
Yeah, I know. Okay, all the
The
time.
Informer. What
All of
song is
all of these
that?
different things, but then also hating gay people. There's a lot of that mixed into the lyrics. And like because I'm a big lyrics guy, so I always try and like figure out, like I look up lyrics and try to figure them out and try to like decipher them and stuff. And once you figure out like some of this, like sometimes it's a whole song. It's just like, I don't like gay people, basically, in for 5 minutes over a beat. And sometimes it's a completely different song, and there's just a quick like, I don't agree with gay people, just in the middle of nothing else, and you're like, what?
What was that for?
Like there's a song called Romping Shop, and it's all about one person having sex with another person, and just right in the middle, they're just like, guys shouldn't sleep with guys and women shouldn't sleep with women, and then go back to the thing, and it's like, what? Come on, man.
Why is
You'd
that
be
in
like, I
there?
really like the sound of this song, and then you figured out what they're talking about, and you're like, ah, shit, I can't listen to this song in good conscience anymore.
Gosh darn it.
Shit. But it's so like that's the downside of like trying to look into stuff, because you're just like, okay, never mind. I shouldn't have looked into this. My bad.
I've noticed something that's very opposite is in like a lot of 90s hip hop,
Mhm.
although there's a lot of bad themes about like selling drugs and murdering people and like hitting women and a lot of anti-gay stuff and like,
Mhm.
carrying guns and all that. There's also a theme of making sure you wear a condom.
Buddy, my favorite. Biggie Smalls. Then I whipped it out. Rubber, no doubt. Step out. Show me what you all about. Like that. Remember I told you the KRS-One song called Jimmy that's just about wearing a condom when you have sex so you don't get AIDS.
Yeah, Killa Cam has one too. Cameron named Killa Cam, the like murderer in the streets, crack dealing Cameron from the drug gang Dipset, has a song about how you need to wrap your dick up because it's a smart thing to do.
It's so good.
But also, but do you know what's really funny is it's all also like buried in misogyny, because if you listen to like, if you really listen to it, it's like, because even if you've been dating this woman for 8 years, she's a hoe and she's gonna go get some shit and bring it home. So wrap it up. The kid's not yours.
You're like, come on, man. Shit. Oh, Alex, I have big news. I broke down on the weekend and decided to re-download the dating apps.
Bring, there we are. What's going on?
I'm
Nice.
back and nothing has changed. Oh my, the horse pictures, Alex, the horse. The one I've noticed, okay, the number of women that I've noticed that put on, there's like little prompts like, what's your special skill? Do you have a special skill? The number of women that I've seen write folding laundry is blowing my mind. Like,
oh yeah,
1950s Hinge? Like what the fuck?
That's so funny, man. Have you noticed that
folding laundry?
Their, like, have you seen all the Myers-Briggs results that everyone keeps putting in their
bios? Yeah, it's like, okay, I'm sure you're
I'm an ENTFJ.
Yeah, what's your star sign? Tell me more, man. Dude, I've noticed a lot more of this of women who like put right up front that they're like super religious and super right wing. They're like, don't date me if you're not a conservative. And like this one lady I saw, I died. It was like, I'm a woman of God who strives to get closer to him every day. Doesn't that sound like she's self-harming?
Every day I try
Should
a
I
little
call
harder
somebody?
to get closer.
Should I call somebody? Are you okay, girl?
Yo, speaking of which, I had a girl on Tinder, like 3 messages in, just be like, yeah, I'm suicidal. I was like, okay, unmatch. Like that was fucked.
Oh,
like,
oh, I got another one. A girl that, okay, I downloaded Hinge and I downloaded Bumble. I fired up Hinge, which when I was on the dating apps like 2 years ago, for context. And I had it before, but it sucked. It wasn't, but apparently now it's the trendy one. And I matched with someone after, like when I first turn it on or whatever. The first thing this person says to me, it's after I watch the fights on Saturday. So it's like 12, 1, maybe 2 a.m. Like I'm just like sitting at home playing on my phone. She's like, why are you up so late? Are you a sex worker?
Yes.
Excuse me? That's you shooting your shot?
You looking?
Yeah, I'm like, no, like, are you? And she's like, no. And I'm like, okay, good.
Are you a cop? You have to tell me if you're a cop.
Yeah, what do you want to talk about now? Hey, what other jobs aren't you? Are you a cop? No.
Jobs aren't you?
Are you a baker? No. Oh, this is exciting. Are you a sex worker?
People are so bad at conversation. Like that's really what I've learned as an adult.
Yeah. My favorite thing on the dating apps used to be like girls they write in their profiles like, and for all the guys matching me, like, don't just say, hey, like, come at me with something better than that. But on Bumble and stuff like that and Hinge, that like the girl sort of has to initiate. And it's always like, hey, what's up? You're like, you have no game.
Do you know what's insane? Is like, okay, when Bumble first came out, I've been on the dating app since they existed, you know, millennial here. Yeah. So like on Tinder, all the girls were like, oh, like all guys just say, hey, blah, blah, blah. Right. But then all the dudes were like, well, yeah, because we have nothing to go on. Like you just have pictures of yourself on the fucking beach. Like, what do you want me to say? Yeah. Like, it's just, oh, nice ass. Thanks for putting it in a bikini. Can I lick it? Like, what do you want from me? And then you unblock it. Then I can't say that because I'll be blocked immediately. But it's like, oh, like come at me with something better than, hey, how's it going? And it's like, why? So then, what have you done? So then So then you get Bumble, right? And then I was like, I'm gonna write like in my profile, like questions for them to answer, or like things about me that you can like clearly ask more questions about. Like
Yeah.
recently got back from a tour or something like that. Just
Right.
to like
Right.
a blind opener. And I would still just get like, hey.
Yeah.
And just like,
I know. Or like an emoji. And you're like, what?
yeah.
Okay. Hey, how's it going?
Just a
Like, but I always thought that was so pretentious of women on dating apps being like, come at me with something better. Like, what do you want? Like, but then at the same time, it's like, oh, you probably use that on everyone. It's like, well, I
yeah.
don't know any of you.
Exactly. Like that's the thing. And do you know what's funny is all the chicks that have that in their bios, I've never had a good conversation with one of them ever. But every chick that like writes something funny and then like you can say something to it, you just have
Yeah,
a conversation. It's
man.
like, yeah, it's your bio that's shit, not all the dudes' openings. I mean, I'm sure a
Oh,
lot of guys are bad at opening,
sure.
but just so you know, if it's every single one, write a bio. Don't just have stupid pictures of you looking off into sunsets and like under a waterfall,
Yeah, man.
being like, I like Gucci. Like, get the
You
fuck
know
out of
what
here.
though? I fancy my chances because now, like the since coming back on, I've noticed that like basically it might just be that people are depressed from COVID, but every single girl is like, or woman is like someone who can make me laugh, and I'm like, all right, I think I got
Finally. No, that's because
used to
you're in
be
the
like
older
someone with
age
a
group
six
now.
pack, someone with a six pack, someone that can lift heavy things. Now it's like, can you make me laugh at least? It's like, yeah, I can do that.
Like, and I can take care of plants. What's up?
Yes, yes.
Do you have plant daddy in your bio? Please don't tell
I
me.
no, no.
Okay.
There's what I do mention. I said because it's like, oh, like an overshare. I was just saying that I got way too into plants during the pandemic because that's a good like opener. That's a good
Yeah,
opener
yeah,
for
yeah.
women to say, oh my god, do you like plants? Or just, hey.
Yeah, yeah. Either of those works.
And you know what? If no women come by, I've got 13 plants that are actually right now waiting for me to come back out into the living room.
Yeah, dude, I've had in my bio since I've been accepted to school that I'm going back to school in the fall, and not a single girl on Tinder or Bumble has asked about it yet.
Oh, that's harsh. They just want your body.
Yeah, I just don't care. Like that's the other, like at this point I'm
Uh,
like I'm moving to Ottawa, like I'm not trying to find my wife here. Like if you are too lazy to even ask me what I'm going back to school for, like get the fuck out of
yeah.
my life.
And then you're gonna be like, oh, you didn't say something about my picture with wine. And you're like, okay.
Yeah.
Why are there so many horse pictures though, Alex? I've been saying this for the entire time I've been on, and
I
I've
don't
talked
know.
I've talked to my friends,
This
like my brother in another province. I've talked to other people. It's an Alberta thing.
it's the same reason there's so many fish pictures for the ladies.
No, man, there's not that many horses. Like these chicks don't own horses, but they all got them by a leash. They're all like nose to nose, like
Yeah.
holding it like this.
That's like, dude,
That's
you ever
not your
see
horse. I'm gonna
bro?
start asking girls, is that your horse?
No. But do you ever, bro, have you ever used a girl's Tinder?
No.
Man, the amount of guys that are just holding a fish and you're
I've
like,
heard that, yeah.
what for?
What for?
Who cares?
Yeah. And
No.
like
When have you ever in your entire life heard that women love a man who can catch a big fish?
fish. Yeah. It's like, you know when? In caveman times when hunters and gatherers were like they probably if Tinder was around in caveman times, you would hold up a picture of you would hold up your fucking mastodon or some shit that you slayed and people would
Yeah.
be like, this guy can provide.
Yeah, but who's there like, look, the worst kind of meat.
Yeah, I caught the worst kind of meat.
Look at that,
And
easiest
now
one
I'm
to
trying to
catch,
catch
worst one
you.
to eat. Check it out.
Yeah, I caught the worst kind of meat. Now I'm trying to catch you. What does that make you?
Like so ridiculous. Oh, I
Yeah.
don't understand it. So I don't know. That's my thing. I'm like, it's just people who suck. If you have horse pictures, I swipe left. You suck.
Yeah.
And if you see a guy with fish pictures, ladies, swipe
Swipe
left.
left. He sucks.
Get him out.
Yeah. But it's just, yeah, it's so funny. All the different like stereotypes. Like you see the girl who, or the woman who's clearly her whole life revolves around owning a dog. And you're just like, if I date this girl, everything is gonna be about this dog.
Man,
That's
and
real
like
fast.
their bio is like looking for a daddy for my little fur baby. You're
Oh
like,
my god.
what the hell, lady? Like, this isn't even the first date. Like, I haven't even met you yet. We haven't even matched, and you're already
Never
trying
mind my
to.
little fur baby though. Sometimes I'd be like, "Yo, I got this big fucking dog, and it's my favorite
Yeah.
thing in the world." And you're like, "I don't know if I want to date you because I don't want to."
Yeah, like every picture is them like on a hike with this dog. You're like, this seems like a lot.
That's the other funny thing when I see when it's all gym pictures, like gym workout pictures. I'm like, I'm like, they're gonna want me to come to the gym with them.
That's funny. Yeah, that's hilarious because I really don't mind that. Like, that's a
No, I don't
hilarious thing
mind
to me
it, but I'm
because
like, they're gonna want me to come to the gym with them.
yeah. But in my head, I'm like, that's a take it or leave it. Like, if a girl has a million gym pictures, I'm like, okay, sweet, I'll have someone to go to the gym with. And then if they don't have any gym pictures, I'm like, okay, sweet, no gym pictures. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
that one doesn't matter to me. And it's funny that some people are that way with like the dog thing. They're like, oh yeah, whatever. Like, she has a dog. Like, and I'm like, no, bro. Like,
yeah. Like
you're gonna be second fiddle to that
she has
dog.
a
And they're like, you're gonna be second fiddle to the gym.
Guh. Like she has a dog, motherfucker.
Yeah, she has a dog, and the dog has her.
Yeah, like you're the third wheel. You're the third wheel, but you're the only one that can fuck. So you have that. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, legally. Uh,
That's weird.
yeah, it got weird at the end there, but that's fine. We're at like 45 minutes. Zoom
Oh,
hasn't
nice.
cut us off yet, so we're in bonus time right now, which is nice. I don't really
We're
understand because when I do Zoom meetings at work, there's a little counter that's like counts down how much time you have left in the top corner. And like it's sick because sometimes meetings just like abruptly end because we've been talking too long and you're like, well, what? But we don't have that. So I don't know.
Yeah, I wonder if Zoom's like doing one of those things that companies do for the pandemic where they are like, I don't
Well, they
know,
did
just
it over
two dudes
Christmas,
chatting.
but it's set
Yeah.
every time I set up a meeting, it's like, hey, if you upgrade, you can talk for more than 40 minutes. But I don't know, man.
Yeah.
We got it. So let's talk. Make shout out your tour again, where people can find information on the
Yeah.
tour.
The Eaton Mask Tour. We don't have any official info yet. Like, we're waiting on the government before we get everything going.
Smart.
So no info available yet. But Good Times Comedy Club, if you want to check that out, or you can go to any of the Danger Cats stuff. So at Danger Cats, at Uncle Hack, listen to the Uncle Hack podcast.
I
Want
think
to
it's
check those
Good
guys
Times
out?
YQL.
Yeah, at Good Times YQL, or just Google Good Times Comedy Club, Good Times Lethbridge, and you can find all my stuff at comedyaf.com.
Yes, find me at Kersey on Instagram, and you know what? Just find me around. As things open, I'm gonna be around. We're gonna be out at shows. We're gonna be doing stuff again. It's gonna be great.
We'll be doing it.
Listen
Oh,
to
and
Atlantic City. Yes. What?
Comedy for Courtney. We're doing
Oh
a
yes.
cancer fundraiser. Yeah. We should make a clip of this. So let's do this professionally.
Oh,
March,
now he gets professional.
yeah. March 19th, I'm doing a comedy fundraiser. It's the only Zoom comedy show I'm doing because I don't want these things to exist. I want to be able to do comedy on stage. But this is a good cause, and it's very close to me personally. So we're doing a comedy show to raise money to go towards cancer treatment. So it's $10 tickets. And it is March 19th, and all the info is on my Instagram. Go to Instagram at AF Comedian or go to comedyaf.com. It'll all be there. Cheers.
Yes. Nailed it. All right. That's the end of the episode. Bye, guys. Till next time.